what happened was unconstitutional and the ICC has become Indian Cricket Council. Statements like these by ICC President Mustafa Kamal brought ICC's internal divide in the open, and his attack on N. Srinivasan has now led to his resignation from the body. Take a look at how the entire saga panned out.
India's win over Bangladesh in the World Cup quarter-final started a series of events that has ended with the resignation of ICC President Mustafa Kamal.
Yeah, I will step down. I have already stepped down as President of ICC as protesting the unconstitutional, unlawful and unconstitutional manner which has been perpetuated.
Kamal first floated shockwaves when he accused umpires of being biased in favour of India.
The umpiring was nowhere. It was a completely disappointed. And not one decision, not two decisions, not three decisions, not four decisions. There could be 12 decisions. And the way it was done, I don't know, God forbids, if it was done with a purpose, it is a killing element for cricket.
To make things worse, Mustafa Kamal and N. Srinivasan got into a battle over the presentation of the World Cup trophy after the finals. With the might of Srinivasan prevailing, what followed were accusations and threats from the former ICC president, which culminated in his resignation. Mustafa Kamal's resignation may not come as a shock, considering there were indications that he would be asked to step down in the next ICC meeting in Dubai. But Kamal continues to raise questions against the ICC and the way it's being run by its chairman, N. Srinivasan.
There can be no reason, because you see, there is no saving clause in the constitution that for such reasons another person can give. No, nothing like that. If it has to be done, then he was not the president. The man, the ugliest man in the world, who presented the trophy, he was not the president of the day.
Surely this resignation is not the end of the saga. Sports Bureau Headlines Today.
And speaking exclusively to Headlines Today, post his resignation, Kamal hit out at Srinivasan, even going on to say that the former BCCI president was shamed with the crowds booing him when he did go up to give away that trophy.
Yeah, I will step down. I have already stepped down as President of ICC as protesting the unconstitutional, unlawful and unconstitutional manner which has been perpetuated during the last World Cup, particularly while giving away the trophies. So as a protest to that, I have stepped down just to pave the way so that the whole world can find out the truth why I have resigned. It is because it is impossible, and I think it is for the first time Constitution was violated. Our ICC Constitution was violated for the first time in the history of ICC. You see, because it is as per the Constitution of ICC, under Article 3.3b, it is the responsibility of the ICC's president only. Solely, it is his responsibility to give away the trophies in ICC events. So I was present.
So who took the decision?
On the match day, as president, I was the president.
Yes.
So it was a prerogative for the president and a responsibility of the president to give us the trophy. So while I was on the ground, how come another man, he could go onto the ground and give us the trophy? There can be no reason, because you see, there is no saving clause in the constitution that for such reasons another person can give. No, nothing like that. If it has to be done, then he was not the president. The man, the ugliest man in the world, who presented the trophy, he was not the president of the day. It has hurt 160 million Bangladeshis, I tell you. So it is definitely it has hurt others who are in favor of truth and equity and fairness. His name was just mentioned on the microphone. How he received the reception there? How the people, 90,000 people on the ground, booed him like anything, That means they don't like him. So it was a shame. It was a shame on him, I tell you.
Moving on, the 2015 World Cup may be over, but the aftershocks are being still felt, that with major retirements. All the pitches a stage and all the men mere actors. They have their entrances and the exits, and one man in his time plays many parts, his act being Seven's Ages. Some play more than just that. Daniel Vettori and Michael Clarke are two such men. They played their roles with finesse, and then, like all good things, the performances came to an end. Here's a look back at their illustrious careers.
On March 29, 2015, Australia and New Zealand renewed their trans-Tasman rivalry at cricket's biggest stage, the World Cup final. It was all or nothing, one shot at glory in Melbourne, and the end of what a dominant display. Australia were crowned champions. The loser, though, cricket.
It's certainly been an honour and a privilege to represent my country. I think it's the right time for me and the Australian cricket team. Like I say, I was very fortunate 4 years ago to get the opportunity to captain this one-day team, and I think that was really good preparation for me leading up to this World Cup, and I think the next Australian captain deserves the same opportunity.
It's the last game for New Zealand in the final, so it was a lovely way to finish. Obviously, we would have been great to win, but I'm pretty proud of everyone and the way they've gone about things for the last 6 weeks.
As the sun faded at the MCG last Sunday, cricket saw two of its greatest ambassadors play for one last time in the shorter format. It truly marks the end of an era. Two champions, contrasting characters, together leaving a void that would be hard to replace. New Zealand cricket has given the sport greats like Sir Richard Hadlee and Martin Crowe. And then in 1996 came Daniel Vettori. He's only one of the three men to have scored both 4,000 test runs and taken 300 test wickets, along with Sir Ian Botham and the legendary Kapil Dev. In ODIs, Vettori has 305 scalps to his name. The average of just about 17 is a testimony to how crucial he was to his team. Vettori also holds the record for the most wickets by a left-arm spinner in Test history. He has 362 scalps from 113 matches. Vettori also has scored 2,272 runs, batting at number 8, the highest by any player at that position in Test history. This World Cup saw Vettori once again show that age is just a number. A breathtaking one-hand catch to dismiss Windies batsman Marlon Samuels. A picture that Vettori could frame. It's unfortunate that he didn't get the farewell he deserved, but the final in Melbourne gave one man a fitting farewell. Clarke, brutally honest as a player and captain. The run-up in the World Cup wasn't the best for Clarke personally. The sudden demise of his friend and teammate Phil Hughes must have taken a toll. Injuries made matters worse. Clarke regained both physically and mentally just in time for the World Cup. A month later, Clarke was at the podium, lifting the title at home. A perfect end to his ODI career. In 245 matches, Clarke managed close to 8,000 runs at an average of 45. He was handy with the ball as well as with 57 scalps. Clarke's captaincy record also speaks volumes of his leadership, winning 50 matches in the 74 matches he led. The curtains are down on two illustrious careers, but it all went to script. Clarke always wanted to be a world champion, while Vettori had his final hurrah with a hell of a ride that the Kiwis were on this World Cup. Sports Bureau headlines today.
Can New Zealand recover from the absence of Daniel Vettori and find a good spinner to move in his footsteps? That's really the big question. But that's not all. Shahid Afridi, Kumar Sangakkara, Misbah ul Haq and Mahela Jayawardene, all four of them retired from ODIs following their team's exit from the recently concluded World Cup. Not just Pakistan and Sri Lanka, but the whole cricketing world will miss these legends.
If you want a budding cricketer to learn the cover drive, show him this.
Lovely cover drive.
This is Sridmark Sangha stamping his authority. Sangakkara piled up runs against all bowling lineups. His game spoke about his skills and class. Sangakkara with 14,234 runs in 404 matches is the second highest run scorer in ODI history. The Southpaw is the only batsman to score 4 consecutive tons in ODIs. In the World Cups, he's the third highest run scorer with 1,532 runs in 37 matches. These records show how instrumental he was in Sri Lanka's success.
On his way. He's
Elegant, artistic,
open to playing different teams.
scintillating.
Perfect.
Adjectives fall short when Jayawardene did the talking with his bat. Jayawardene most often delivered on the biggest stages for Sri Lanka. One such example is his century in the 2011 World Cup final. On most difficult tracks, the 37-year-old made batting look easy throughout his career. In 448 ODI matches, Jayawardene scored 12,650 runs with 19 centuries and 77 half-centuries against his name. Jaya was equally good as a captain too. Sri Lanka will not just miss his skills with the bat but also his great cricketing mind. Misbah-ul-Haq, a leader and a fighter. If there was something certain in the highly unpredictable current Pakistan team, it was this man scoring runs. On many occasions, he was the last man standing for the Green Brigade. In a team that struggled to score decent scores in ODIs, Misbah compiled 5,122 runs in 162 matches at a healthy average of 43.40. The 40-year-old led an ordinary Pakistan team to the quarter-finals of the 2015 World Cup. Australia ended Pakistan's journey and with it, Misbah's career also came to an end. And it was the same old story for the Pakistan skipper. Plenty of hard work but no rewards. Unfortunately, this has been the story of Misbah's career. Boom Boom Afridi needs no introduction. Afridi's foray into international cricket was breathtaking. In his very first ODI innings, Afridi smashed a 37-ball 100 against Sri Lanka, a record that stood for 18 years. And since then, there was no looking back for Shahid Afridi. He produced some astonishing performances with both bat and ball. Cricket fans across the world were entertained with his fearless batting and willy leg breaks. Afridi won many matches for Pakistan with his all-round ability. Afridi won 32 Man of the Match awards, which is the third highest in ODI history. The Pakistani all-rounder is the only cricketer in the world with over 8,000 runs and 350 plus wickets in ODIs. With 395 ODI wickets, Afridi is the fifth highest ODI wicket taker of all time. These numbers itself speak for the impact player that Shahid Afridi was. The curtains are down on the illustrious careers of these four legendary Asian cricketers. But the legacy will last forever, even as their teams struggle to find their successors. Sports Bureau headlines today.